It's hammer time.
Okay, so if you didn't know, this year on our farm, our third crop of hay, we couldn't put up dry. There was just too much rain and not in a long enough window to put up any dry hay. So we had to silage a bunch of hay. And there's only, I mean, most people around here just feed silage hay, but we actually found somebody where we can sell it to, a local dairyman. So we are going to grab some of these bales and move them over to where we're gonna load him up. We're gonna move the bales because if we try to load him up when he's coming at 2:30, the ground will be really soft and will create ruts in our field. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna move him now when the ground's still frozen, and that way we can load him later and not disrupt our field.
Hey guys, Blake just got these bales moved over here, but they had some long ends, so I just nipped them off so they're nice and clean for the customer.
All right, so we got the guy loaded with the silage. He seemed pretty happy with it. So now we've got just a few other things we're gonna do today. So we're gonna get hooked up to the grain grinder, and we'll pull it over in front of the shop, and I'll explain more about what we're gonna do to it.
Hey guys, we're about to start up our 4230 John Deere. It's known for starting pretty hard and it's kind of cold outside. So we're gonna have Blake put a little ether in it, and I'll turn it over.
We've let our 4230 warm up a bit, so we're gonna take it down, hook it up to the grain grinder, and get started on it.
Hey guys, gonna back the tractor up and we'll drop the pin in and pull it out. Backing it up. Okay guys, somebody bends our pin, so I'm gonna go grab a sledgehammer and see if I can bend it back so we can drop it in. It's hammer time. Well, Blake had to go load another customer with some silage, so in the meanwhile I got the grain grinder hooked up, and now we'll pull it out and get back to work.
So we got the grain grinder moved down here in front of the shop so we have easy access to our tools. And I don't think we've explained exactly what we want to do with this. And what we want to do is we're going to take all of this tank and unloading auger off. Because what happened is, right down here, underneath this, these flights have gotten really worn out. And the pan that sat underneath them got really worn out. And so grain would start leaking, and this tank's just really beat up, and the augers are just all beat up. So we're just gonna take the tanks off, or take the tank. We're going to take the tank off. That's kind of hard to say. We're gonna take the tank off, and then just leave just the grinding part on, so that we just have something that's functional, and it's smaller and more maneuverable. And then we're not just gonna scrap this tank. We're gonna clean it all up. And by clean it all up, I don't mean like paint it or anything. We're just gonna get all the junk that we don't need off of it. And we're gonna make a freestanding grain bin out of it, so that it's standing on 4 feet and we can get a bucket full of grain just out from underneath it, so that it's a little more handy to feed grain when we do. So we're gonna start by taking off this auger. And all it is for this auger are bolts on this side on the bottom, bolts on this side, and then there's a couple bolts just right up here. We'll take those off and pop that auger off and see what we can do next.
Okay guys, the bolts aren't coming off so good, so I'm gonna have to hop inside the grain bin and hold them while Blake screws them off.
Sadly, the video is coming to an end.
Got kind of dark and our camera died, but
We'll continue our work on the grain grinder in the next video.
don't forget to like,
Comment,
and subscribe.